Let me go right now, very quickly, to cover the eTravel Philippines requirements for departure only. So in this part, we will discuss only the requirements for departure from Philippines. The eTravel in the departure is actually only for Filipino citizens, dual citizens using the Philippines passport, and some permanent residents. So first, the case of Filipino citizens departing the Philippines. They have to register in eTravel. The Filipinos must fill out the departure eTravel form with personal details, passport information, and flight specifics, like plane, flight, time. And this has to be done within a few days, so 72 hours, before departure. And then at the airport, the immigration officers will verify that your eTravel details are correct. So, as with any flight you take, you have to present your boarding pass, passport, and maybe you need another supporting document like the travel insurance of the place you're going. But immigration officers will ask you basically for the boarding pass, passport, and the eTravel QR code when it's the case. There's also the case of the dual citizens using the Filipino passport. A dual citizen using a foreign passport to enter is not considered by eTravel as a Filipino. So they don't have any requirement at the time of departure. Dual citizens who entered on a Filipino passport are considered, of course, Filipino nationals while in the Philippines. So they must complete the departure eTravel form in the same manner as all the Filipino citizens who only have one passport. While foreigners have in some case an exit clearance, this dual citizen is recognized as a Filipino, so this citizen will not be subject to the same visa or exit clearance requirements that apply to most foreign nationals. Well, of course, keep handy your two passports anyway, as well as the boarding pass and all the documentation. There is also the case of foreign residents who are immigrants in the Philippines that we will see now. Just please, I wanted to tell you before that if you are interested in immigration law, if you are interested in immigration requirements for different countries, please subscribe to the channel because we analyze in detail these requirements in all cases, and we save you a lot of time in investigating this information by yourself. So, well, now let's see the case of the foreign residents, immigrants in the Philippines that are living permanently in the Philippines. Also, in the Philippines, many men that are Westerners, like from Europe or the United States, mostly from the United States, I saw them with Filipino women. I saw them in the airport, a lot of them. So this is the case of when they travel outside, when they depart from Ninoy, for example, from the Philippines. It is a Filipino woman who, of course, has to do the eTravel, and generally speaking, a man who is an American citizen, for example, that has a residence permit in the Philippines. So the foreigners, they might hold various types of residency permits, such as the 13A visa for those who are married to Filipino citizens, mostly Filipino women married with Western men, retirement visas, the SRRV, people with more than 50 years old, or working visas that are still valid, of course. If you have an ACR, iCard, the Alien Certificate of Registration identity card, you are classified as a resident alien. Okay, so that's fine. Obligations before departure for these people: eTravel registration, complete the departure eTravel form with your alien registration details and flight information. In nationality, put your original nationality. I see mostly people from the United States, so put United States. And there is also a case of an exit clearance certificate. This is required also in the case of a tourist that stays for more than 6 months. So, well, of course, that you can go to the nearest bureau office that you have, and immigration bureau office that you have, and this is the best advice. You would need an exit clearance certificate, the ECC, from the Bureau of Immigration, especially for those foreign citizens that stay more than 6 months. Even if they are allowed to stay more than 6 months, even in this case, they require to have this certificate. So, which is the process for resident aliens, for these foreigners that are illegally residents, that are legally living in the Philippines? So let's say that they are, roughly speaking, treated as a national citizen, just at least for the eTravel departure. Several weeks, better take this with time, several weeks before your planned departure, verify if you need an ECC. Those that stay more than 6 months will actually need it. So go to the Bureau Immigration Office. Remember to settle any fees that you have, fines and everything, because otherwise you will not get any exit clearance certificate. Complete the eTravel, as we said before, information about your residency status, your nationality, departure date, airline, etc. And you will present all this in the airport when you are leaving. In case of overstay, well, maybe we are going a little bit away from the eTravel departure topic, but just if you overstay, go to the Bureau of Immigration. I would suggest to go in person, pay the overstay penalties. They will give you a form that you pay in a bank. Yes, so you pay this. And then once you pay, you can get the exit clearance certificate. At the airport, the officers, the immigration officers, will check that you have this exit clearance certificate, and you can obtain this only if you pay the overstay penalties. The best thing is to not overstay. If you consider you need more time, you have to go to the Bureau of Immigration to extend your allowance, your visa allowance, and not simply overstay. So this is the best thing to do. I hope you like this video and that it helped you to solve many questions that you might have at the time of leaving the country, the departure.